What's driving markets? Welcome to Market Take. Each week, we'll bring you our insights on the latest market and economic trends that are impacting investments. I'm your host, Jean Boivin, head of the BlackRock Investment Institute. This week, I'll discuss why we think market pricing of Fed rate cut is overdone. The Federal Reserve is set to cut interest rates for the first time since the pandemic. Yet, it and other central banks are not heading for an easy policy stance. An uptick in the unemployment rate has helped stoke recession fears. We see these fears as overdone. Employment is still growing robustly. The unemployment rate is not rising due to layoffs, but because elevated immigration has expanded the workforce. Markets are pricing Fed rate cuts as deep as those in past recessions. We think this is similarly overdone. Once immigration normalizes, the economy will not be able to add jobs as quickly as in the past without stoking inflation. This will keep the Fed from cutting as deep as in past cycles, we think. The European Central Bank cut rates again last week. We see euro area inflation falling to 2% and staying near there, giving the ECB more room than the Fed to cut rates. Yet, supply constraints make it unlikely inflation will go back to being well below 2% like it was before the pandemic. We see the ECB holding rates well above pre-pandemic levels. Here's our market take. Short-term U.S. Treasury yields have slid on expectations for deep Fed rate cuts, so we went underweight. We're neutral euro area government bonds and UK gilts as market pricing of rate cuts is more aligned with our view or can go further. For details, read our weekly commentary. Go to www.blackrock.com/weekly-commentary. Thank you for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this episode, subscribe to Market Take wherever you get your podcasts.
This material is intended for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, a recommendation, or an offer or solicitation to purchase or sell any securities, funds, or strategies to any person in any jurisdiction in which an offer, solicitation, purchase, or sale would be unlawful under the securities laws of such jurisdiction. The opinions expressed are as of the date of publication and are subject to change without notice. Reliance upon information in this material is at the sole discretion of the listener. Investing involves risks. BlackRock does and may seek to do business with companies covered in this podcast. As a result, listeners should be aware that the firm may have a conflict of interest that could affect the objectivity of this podcast. For more information, visit blackrock.com